Hello, everybody. It has been a minute since I was last on here with you all. Um, sorry, I was just grabbing my hanger. I am about to put away a massive load of laundry, so I thought I would just come on and talk to you all and let you know how I got on. Obviously, I am back in New Zealand. Once again, my trip home definitely confirmed that this is the right place for me to be. Um, yeah. Uh, the flight I got all on the aisle seats, and I recommend getting the aisle seats because it was actually really nice having the aisle seats. It meant that I could go to the bathroom whenever I wanted to, and I just didn't have to worry. I didn't feel like there was very good movies playing on either of the flights, and there was no Wi-Fi. I wouldn't fly or book with Air Canada again, actually, due to various reasons. I really struggled that on the way there. Actually, I don't know, I'd have to look it up whether or not it makes a difference with how fast the pilot goes in the air. But I feel like he went into the air too fast, and so my ears just were unbearable. By the time I got into Toronto, I literally felt like I was in fetal position, in so much pain. Just a brief intermission. This is the sweater I bought in Canada. Love it. So comfortable. Anyways, so I was in so much pain. I was really, really worried about my ears, whether or not they would burst. That's how much pain I was in. Luckily, the flight Toronto to Windsor was flew at a lower altitude, so it meant that my ears didn't hurt, which was great. They hurt for quite a few days and then finally subsided, which is also great. I got to spend a day with my niece and nephew, but it was apparent pretty much right away that things were an absolute shambles at home. And I really, I was not prepared for how much of a shambles it was at home, actually. At my dad's house, I've never seen my brothers in that light at all. So it was really weird, having two of my brothers not want to be near my dad. One of them kept chopping and changing, and I'll get more into that in a second. But my brother, who is gay, was definitely not chopping and changing. He really didn't want to have anything to do with my dad. So much so that when he was working on the house for my other brother, he actually got really upset that my dad was in the house doing something as well. So it was really, really bad. He ended up yelling at my stepmom at one point in time. My other brother, not my brother who is gay. My brother Jay, he ended up yelling. My brother H, he ended up yelling. He's the oldest, the next one after me, and he ended up yelling at my stepmom to make sure she didn't bring my dad over there and all this kind of stuff. And I felt bad because it was in front of my nephew, and he didn't really know what to do. You know, the plan was for me to kind of go. I hung out with my niece the whole Saturday that I got there, and my nephew was there as well. But um, I felt like my niece kind of took over, so she did my makeup. We watched some shows. Um, she kind of took over, and I didn't really get to spend time with my nephew as much. I tried. We played a game of Monopoly, or at least half a game of Monopoly. I think it was Monopoly, or Game of Life, or something. So I tried, but it was really hard because obviously, you know, she doesn't really want her little brother around. So yeah, it became a little bit difficult, but you know, I made it work, to a certain extent. And I kind of asked for them to have the Monday off so that I could hang out with them on the Monday, and it all seemed like it was going to plan, but then all of a sudden my brother called and didn't want that to happen. And I was supposed to play. I had booked with my nephew that I was gonna, you know, spend some time with him. We were gonna play Nintendo and like do some fun stuff that he likes to do. But yeah, that all got canceled, and they had to go to school, and that's when my stepmom got yelled at by my brother for even offering. She was supposed to accompany him to. She was supposed to accompany him to a doctor's appointment. She had questioned him about the doctor's appointment. He didn't message back, and then on that particular day, he kind of yelled at her and was like, I already told you about that. I didn't need to tell you again. Like, I shouldn't need to repeat myself. La-di-da-di-da. Well, this woman, seriously, has got so much going on that, yeah, you do have to repeat yourself. She's also, like, older as well. So, yeah, you know, if she messages you and asks you about something, about what time of day or whatever it is, because she's trying to plan her day for the next day, and you don't answer her back, then obviously something's going to be wrong with that. And that's exactly what happened. And so he expected her to wait around for like 3 or 4 hours, and she had the car, and my dad and her only have one car, and she was like, well, I need to take the car back because you don't know how long your appointment's going to be, and I'll just let your dad have the car because I'll let your dad have the car and he can go from there. Like, in case, like, we don't know how long your appointment is, so it just means that if, you know, the appointment runs long and somebody has to pick the kids up from school, like, he can pick the kids up from school kind of deal. And he just got so mad, and he was like, I don't want him here, blah, 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 blah. So, and I just felt so bad for my nephew, who was, like, caught in the middle of that. So that was that, and then I left, and I went to Ottawa, and let me tell you, it was amazing. My friend and her husband went out of her way to just make us feel amazing, really. Paid for everything, so we didn't really have to worry about money. We did a cool escape room. We did a cool paint night. We went to like this really awesome Canadian dinner theater, and we spent the night in a hotel, and we had a picnic, and we spent lots of time with the kids, and we just had a really nice time. Like, we just pretty much did everything. It was so cool. And, like, I'm so grateful for that opportunity to be able to go and visit a place that I've never visited before. You know, it's the capital of Canada, so it's quite cool that it's in my province, and that, obviously, my friend lives very close. So we got to go to Quebec to this spa where we got, like, an hour-long massage, and we got to, like, float in the salt pool, and we got to go in all these different pools that were different degrees. And it was just a really nice time, and I really needed it. And then I went back to, had to say goodbye, and that's never easy for me, especially because I don't know when I'm going to see her again, because obviously I know that I didn't pay for half of this stuff, so I can't say that I can't really afford it, but I can't afford like $500 to travel there every time. An extra $500 to travel there every time. This really was kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity, or once every like 3 trips or whatever. And that's sad for me to say that, because, I really love visiting her, but she just lives so far away now. It's not economical. And it takes time away, obviously, from, that took time away from my dad, which is fine, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that. And the kids weren't around, so, I was like, that's fine. But yeah, I just felt bad. A little bit bad, I can't be doing that every trip. But it was such an amazing trip, and it kept me going for the horribleness that was. I saw my other brother, a different age, who is talking to my dad. I saw him just before I left, and I did think to myself, he doesn't look very happy. What's going on? I didn't really find out the whole story of what's going on, but it sounds like he's in a very unhappy marriage, and his wife is not going to let him go, and she doesn't really want him either. So it's a nasty situation, and in some regards, I've been there. And so these are not my pants. I've been there, so I understand some of it. And it's heart-wrenching. I mean, I didn't know that my life was going to go that way, and I almost don't know what's worse, like knowing that your life's going to go that way and being able to cut it off, or like, I think it's worse actually having to live that lie for everybody, and you can literally tell. My sister-in-law had completely changed. I used to hang out with her all the time, and now you could just feel like she didn't want to be there. She was putting on a facade, and sometimes you might think that I'm like jumping to conclusions or whatever, but all my brothers said this. And in fact, my dad, after I had left, apparently a week or so after I had left, my dad actually said something to him as well, and asked him if something was going on, because my brother is normally so joyful, and so he just has this spark about him. Look, I didn't grow up with these brothers, so I feel like I talk about them in a way that, like, I don't even know, but I love being a big sister as well. But I love these, and I adored him growing up. He was my hockey star little brother, and he just had him and my baby brother just had this pure light about them, that they light up a room, but particularly this one light up a room whenever he came. And so it just radiates, right, when someone lights up a room. And to have that completely snuffed out, I literally felt like someone was stabbing me in the heart. Like, that's how it felt. And I know that's dramatic, but it 100% is what I felt. And it was killing me to see him like that. And it still kills me. And he's not, I'm trying to reach out to him. I'm trying to say, like, I'm here if you need to talk. Like, I love you very much. But I guess maybe he doesn't he doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't want to admit it's true or whatnot. I don't know. It's a very sad situation. So yeah, so that was going on. This other brother with the 2 kids, he made me very upset because he obviously wasn't talking to my dad and was getting all cross the first time I was there. And then the second time I was there, he all of a sudden, like, almost like he turned over a new leaf. And he was asking my dad to help him with stuff. And, you know, came for Father's Day. And I stayed with my brother who's gay. I stayed with him for a couple nights, which I will be honest, as a Christian, I was a little bit worried about, because I wasn't sure about PDA and stuff, and it's their own house, you know, but they were very respectful, and, you know, I just tried to treat them as absolutely normal, because that's what they are, and his partner as well, and I think they respected that. And, you know, I had my baby brother said something like, I said to him, look, I'm not going to stop talking to him. You know, I really, you know, he's my brother. I really love him. And I was like, I know that maybe he's done some things that you don't like, but that I'm not going to put myself in the middle to not hang out with him. Like, I felt very put in the middle, I will say. Very put in the middle. But I was like, I'm not gonna not talk to him, because that's not fair, because he is the brother that always checks up on me, and, like, is always messaging me and checking in and stuff. So I'm like, I'm not doing that to him. Especially over something so silly as him dating a guy. And he's been with the same guy since he was, like, 15 or 16. Like, I knew this person. And, you know, and I think they both respected that I didn't have a big deal about it. And my brother said, well, the reason why he does talk to you and stuff like that is because you're the only one who accepts him for who he is. And I just thought that was such a sad statement. Like, a lot of people might not agree with this, but like, there are things I've done in my life that you're not going to like. There are things that I'm going to say that you're not going to like. But you still support and love that person regardless. And just because I don't like the lifestyle choice that he is choosing, in the end, that's between him and God, the way he wants to live his life or whatever, maybe. You know, that's not something for me to really, like, have a judgment on. And do I like it 100%? No. Like, I would love to see him with a wife and kids, because he would love to have kids as well, and that's going to be made difficult for him. But he's chose this. He's happy in this. And so that's all I want. Just like anyone. All you want is them to be happy. So I'm not going to... You know, I'm going to try to support him the best that I possibly can in this. And anyways, this is going to be a very long video. So yeah, I was really saddened that my brother would say something like that, because I'm just like, gosh, that's awful. Like, that's awful, and I feel bad that my brother has to put up with that. And he kind of said, oh, if he ever tells my kids that he was born this way, da-da-da. And I was kind of like, I don't know anybody who is gay who's going to walk up to a child and say, hey, I'm gay and I was born this way. Like, people just don't talk like that, for one. Yeah, so that kind of upset me. My brothers all smoke weed, and they do something that they shouldn't do. And so I had one of my other brothers say that he was thinking about turning them in, kind of deal. And no, I don't agree with turning in your own relatives. I mean, yes, obviously, if they're shooting or hurting somebody, then yes, but not for something like this. And it's weed is legal in New Zealand, in America, in that place where they are, so it's fine. But there is some stuff of that that's not. And so I actually thought my brother was going to kick me out because one, I was talking about my brother who was gay and he didn't like that. And then I was talking about how, well, if you weren't doing something that you wouldn't, if you weren't doing something that you're not allowed, then there wouldn't be an issue and all this kind of stuff. So I totally thought he was going to like flip his lid on me. But he didn't, which was great because we, could come to that understanding. And I think he heard what I was saying, and I tried to hear what he was saying, and that's the most important, right? But yeah, it became very hostile situation. There was a lot of that threatening. That brother with the kids not only threatened the other brother with turning him in, but also threatened my dad with not being able to see his grandchildren, and literally for the only reason that my dad didn't give them money when they asked for it. And it wasn't like it was $5,000, it was $100,000 they were asking for. They invested it in someone else. They don't like what they invested it in. They were like, do you even know what this person does that you're investing in? Anyways, my dad got his money back plus more in the space of like 3 to 6 months. And my brothers couldn't do that. That turnover rate couldn't be. And this is my dad's retirement money. So, yeah, things were a little bit tricky. It was hostile. There were many times where I was like, I might have to leave. Whatever. Anyways, I managed to stay out my time. I had 5 days with my new sister-in-law, and I absolutely loved spending time with her. It's a real shame for her that I can't be around. It's a shame for me that I can't be around. But I know I'm in the right place. So that's what I need to keep reminding myself, that this is where I'm meant to be. But it is hard because, like, I wish I could support them more. But yeah, we spent beautiful. We went to the Disney immersion, and we went to the movies and saw Elemental, and we went to this amazing Christmas store, and I bought way too many Christmas ornaments. I ended up not having very much money after that because the exchange rate was atrocious. It was 60 cents to the dollar, so it was insane. But yeah, I went to my mom's. I managed not to see her boyfriend, which is one of the things I was really worried about. And so that was really nice. I managed to get all my cousins together except for one, but I did see him, so that's all right. I managed to get my mom and my uncle together twice. Once for just a little visit, and then once for a bigger visit when we had the reunion at the park, which was super, super nice. Really enjoyed it. My cousin and I, my cousin did most of the work. She coordinated everyone to what they wanted to bring. And I kind of pulled everybody together saying, hey, let's do this. Let's get together. So it was a joint effort, but she did a lot of the work, and I'm so thankful for that because that's something that's really important to me to try to do anytime I go home, is to get my cousins together, my immediate cousins that I grew up with. So it was nice. And it's the first time that all of us have actually been around each other for about 10 to 15 years. It's insane. I met up with my old Bible school, my old church teacher. That was really nice. She's very frail, but she's beautiful. She's still driving. She's 87. I think she is. And yeah, she's just gorgeous. She prayed over me that I would get a husband. And she had to pray before we could have biscuits and before we could have a cookie and a glass of tea or a mug of tea. So it was really cute. I had a blast with her. I ended up not spending as much time with my cousin because either I had something on with somebody or she was going to this concert, that concert, and everything in between. So we did only have like a few days together, but we made the most of those few days together. I started playing Disney Dream Time or Disney Dreamlight, that she plays as well. So we played that a little bit. We watched a little bit of a cake show together. We got to go mini golfing because my flight was canceled, and we got to go to this really cool arcade in London, which was only $5, and you got to play all these games. So it was really nice. I got to catch up with my old best friend from when I was little, and it was massive. I got to see her family again, which I haven't seen in ages. We've been friends since we were 9, so it's a big deal. And I've been able to see her every time I go home, which is really nice, even if it's just to catch up for a coffee. But I was able to spend a good amount of time with her and meet her new boyfriend, and just find out how things are going. Yeah, I was able to see another one of my friends. I only got to see her for a couple hours. She wanted to have more time with me, but I really couldn't give her more time because my brother was going to come, and then my brother flaked out coming because he was sick. So yeah, overall it was really good time, but yeah, my flight got canceled, so I had an extra day at home. I had to borrow money from my mom because I had no money, so she has helped me pay my rent for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which was amazing because normally my mom can't do this, but because I take over her finances now, I make sure that she's saving. So I am putting that savings back into her account. I'm definitely not taking advantage of that. But yeah, no, it was a trip like no other. Every time I go home, I think it might get better. And this is the first time it's ever been really bad at my dad, so that was craziness. But it was also, I need to budget better for my next trip because now I know my brothers are out of home. I can do more with them, which means instead of sitting at home not doing anything, I'm now being able to go out and do some things, whether it's go to dinner or whatever, go to a movie or whatever. I did try to get all my brothers together for a bowling, but that didn't work, so I will not be doing that again until this whole rift goes away. I'm planning on going home again in 2025 for my niece's graduation and hopefully my cousin's wedding. So I've come back. I'm kind of all settled in now. I went to a baby dedication today. It was actually really hard. It was the best baby dedication I've ever been to. I've been to 3 others for my personal nieces and nephews here in New Zealand, my littlest ones, and this one was nothing like it. It was so in depth. It was such a beautiful prayer for this little family, not a little family, big family, and this beautiful little girl who I actually adore. So I got a little teary. Nothing big, but my eyes did water and I got a lump in my throat, just grieving what I might never get. But we'll see. Anyways, this is becoming way too long, and yeah, comment if there's things that you want me to talk about more in detail or things that you think I haven't put in there. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, long-winded, but that's how my trip was, and now it's back to normal. And in my next time I do this, I will try to tell you like my goals and stuff, but I'm still working on those. Have a good evening. Bye.